Hello there, I'm David Baker. I'm an agent here in the Phoenix, Arizona area, and I wanted to share with you what it costs to live here in the Phoenix, Arizona area. And I'm going to try to break it down with sharing some of the costs that I've seen for myself and my family in the different areas of housing, utilities, food, transportation, healthcare, and then, what sales taxes are like over here as well. So go ahead, leave comments, like, subscribe, and I hope you find this information as far as the cost associated with living here in the Phoenix area useful. So diving into it, let's get into one of the most expensive costs that you're going to be associated with living anywhere, frankly, is going to be housing prices. So right now at this time, and I'm recording this video in February 2024, the median home price is $446,000. So I can tell you, of course, there's several homes that have sold over and several under, but just to give you a general idea, the amount of a monthly mortgage on that with a 5% down payment, and today interest rates are at about 6.67, would be somewhere in the $3,300 to $3,400. That's inclusive of taxes. So just to get you a general idea, I will tell you that year to date, we have had 73 homes that have sold in the 2 to 300 range. Now this is for single family homes. Now, I'm not even including condos and townhomes, okay? So 73 that have sold in the 200 to 300 range. So people looking for housing that's a little bit more affordable, yes, they're definitely there. We've seen a total of 596, so just shy of 600 year to date that have sold in the 300 to 400,000 range. So again, this is just to give you an idea. That median of 446, yeah, it's the median, but there is some that do sell on the lower side. Generally, it seems like we have somewhere in the 60 to 80 homes that sell in the $1 million range as well. Gated communities, pools, multiple garages, etc. Median rent, another important one. If you're not ready to buy, what can you expect to pay for rent at this time? Now, I will tell you, like on the lower side, I've seen some studio apartments, some maybe one bedrooms that are going for, 1,000 to maybe 1,200 range. Typically for a single family home, your typical 3-bedroom, 2-bath, on the low end, probably about 1,800. But the average rent right now, the median average rent for the Phoenix metropolitan area right now is about $2,100 a month. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea as far as what housing would look like. But I will tell you, even though the average interest rate right now is 6.67, keep in mind, if you're working with an agent that really knows what they're doing, they may be able to help you negotiate with the purchase a little bit of a interest rate reduction. So your monthly mortgage payments could be lower. Let me know if you have questions about that. DM me, call me, whatever. I'd love to help you out if you're considering that move and you've got question, because that literally can save you thousands over the course of that mortgage that you have. Literally thousands, okay? So it's definitely something worth doing, and I love being able to do that for my clients. Now that 3,300 to 3,400 is using an online calculator based again on that median home price. Now let's look at a couple other costs associated with home ownership. If you do end up buying a newer home, lots of homes here have homeowners associations. Those tend to be somewhere on the average of $65 a month. Now there is also property taxes. Now the figure that I gave actually had property tax included in it. Most of the time when you get yourself, situated with, the pre-qualification and, doing the mortgage payment, they actually include the taxes in that. So right now it's about 0.63 of what the full cash valuation of the property is, which ultimately, let me give you a dollar figure. It seems to me that most of the taxes that I've seen for properties on the low end, 1,300. I've seen some that are lower, but 1,300 to ballpark around 3,000. Okay, so somewhere in that range is where you're going to do on the yearly property taxes. Okay, so that pretty much covers everything as far as housing. Now, what other costs we mentioned were utilities. Also kind of, associated with the house. But utilities, now you'll need to pay this regardless of whether you're renting or whether you're buying. Now, of course, this is going to defer to, it's going to be different depending on the size of the property that you have. Is it a single story? Is it a two-story? Here in the Phoenix area and most Arizona, you've probably heard, it actually gets pretty hot. So like a big chunk of your utility will probably be somewhere in that hotter time because your AC, your air conditioner, is running pretty much throughout the summer because it is hot out. Right now, electric average based on my home, I pay somewhere in the 136 to 100 and say 40 a month. But I will tell you, I do have a single story, 2,700 square foot home. It's got good insulation. It's got dual pane windows, so it's pretty energy efficient. But beyond that too, I've also got 36 solar panels that I own. So that helps reduce, my fee, but it gives you a general idea. I will tell you, based on EnergySave.com, Arizona is supposedly about 14% higher than the national average. And I will tell you, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's really hot here in the summer and those ACs are running a lot. I will tell you that Energy Save says that basically the average is about $229 a month. Now, keep in mind, again, that is from one of these websites. I did look up a second website, which is Sofi.com, SOFI.com, and it was interesting because they came with an average of about $131. So I would actually tell you that depending on how much energy you use throughout the winter and of course how much you're using in the summer, that's going to make a big difference. Also the size of your home. Just to kind of explain that a little bit further, if you've got a two-story home, it is more costly for the electric, especially for either heating or keeping cool in the summertime. I've heard some of my clients say anywhere from $400 to $700 in the summertime. Now, the cool thing here with both utility services, APS as well as SRP, you can do like a 12-month average. So you pretty much pay the same thing every month, regardless of the usage, which is kind of, good, like for me, because we don't really use the heat in the winter at all. It doesn't really get that cold for us. And we don't really keep it that cool during the summer. We pay that $136, and it's pretty much the same thing every month. So that's the way we do it. We kind of like it. Other utility, gas, they say the average is about $116 a month. Water is about $53 a month. I do actually have a rental property, and that is ballpark what it is. That actually also includes trash pickup with the city, which is kind of nice as well as sewage. Now, also on the Sofi.com, it does state that, the average fees for both cable and internet is a ballpark about $108. I can tell you, as far as cable, I got rid of that stuff, with so many streaming things now, you could do your Amazon, your Netflix, your, Hulu. It ends up being a lot more cost effective and you kind of watch stuff that you want to watch. Ultimately, for paying for stuff like that, it's anywhere from $10 to as much as $50 a month, right? I am paying for Wi-Fi for, internet service, and that is costing me somewhere, closer to $60 a month. So I guess that is pretty accurate, about 108. When you lump them both together, it is pretty darn accurate, okay? So that is basically for housing and for utilities. Let's jump onto the next one, which is food. The two main grocery stores that I've seen most people, go to, and that seem to be the popular ones here around the Phoenix area, are Fry's and Safeway. And I will tell you, my preference has really been for Fry's. I've been shopping there for quite some time. My wife and I have been going there for quite some time. There is a Safeway right across the street. For whatever reason, well, probably money, rather go to Fry's. I don't want to pay more just, because of the service. I'm used to going to Fry's. They're, it just seems like to me they have better deals. It's a better value. So there are, of course, different, supermarkets you go to that you could choose from. Walmart is in the area. Aldi is in the area. There's, Trader Joe's. There's a couple other, Sprouts, places like that. But of course, they're a little bit more, I don't know, pricey. So depending on where you want to go and how much you want to spend, you've definitely got those choices. But I will tell you, as far as cost for groceries, for the last, year or so, I'd say that my family has been averaging about $200 a week. Now, I've had a family of four, staying at the house, and we've been able to get away with that. Now, granted, some weeks may be a little bit more because we're getting, the more protein, things of that nature, or maybe, picking up a couple six packs of beer. But overall, I'd say about $200 a month. That's what I've been able to average. And, I guess you could say we're relatively frugal. We just don't go all out and don't buy a lot of, above what we need type of stuff. But based on SoFi, again, they say that the average is about $280 a month per person. So, frankly, we're not that far off. We're about, 160 to, $300 off compared to what I spend. But there you've got it. That is basically, cost for food. Now, what about eating out? I will tell you that I do like to go out. I've been a frequenter of sandwich shops. I really kind of enjoy your typical, Subway, Jimmy John's, Jersey Mike's, even going to maybe KFC, McDonald's every so often. And I could tell you that my thoughts are it's actually kind of expensive. It is not conducive to trying to go out and do it every day because, it might put you in the poorhouse. Going to Subway, just getting a 6-inch, Subway sandwich is going to run you somewhere in the $10 to $15. Doing Jimmy John's, same thing. Jersey Mike's might actually be a little bit more than that because they're a little bit pricier. Even going to McDonald's, you're going to be upwards of $5, closer to $10, probably $8 to $10, just for getting yourself, a meal. So the one thing I will say about McDonald's, you can go over there and you can get yourself any size drink for $1, which I'm a big fan of. But that's it. So dining for me, I'll tell you what, I'll give it a thumbs down. I do like going out. I do like going to your bars and grills, and there's some great, places out there to enjoy a beer and enjoy a meal. But I'll tell you what, you are going to be paying for it. If you're planning on going out, to, someplace to eat with your date, your wife, whoever, you'll probably be paying somewhere in the $30 to $50 minimally to be able to do that for two people, okay? And that's being conservative. If you're going out someplace expensive, probably $50 to $200 depending on what you're getting. So I hope that gives you an idea about food. Like I say, overall $200 to $280 for grocery store, and I misstated that. $200 per person, for myself, that's what we had done, so $800 a month. Whereas, that website is stating $280 per person per month. So they're ballpark from what I've seen. Now, next big expense I think is going to end up being transportation. I will have you know that Phoenix is not a place that has really great public transportation system. I will tell you it is getting better. So Phoenix has started building what is called the Valley Metro, which is basically a rail car that, is on the roads. And, it traverses several parts of, the Metro Phoenix area. And, you could go, from Mesa into the downtown Phoenix area and head up north, but it doesn't really go to every area of the valley as of yet. Of course they're working on it. They're building it to South Phoenix now. They've had it built out to Mesa. It goes through Tempe. It goes to the downtown and a little bit north. But again, if you live in any other area, basically you're screwed. You don't have a very good transportation system for the city. There is some buses. They can take forever. So ultimately what I'm getting at is almost everybody has a car. So, you are going to end up commuting, and that, of course, carry some fees with it. Let me share with you right now the average gas at the pump, and I've driven past a couple of them just today even. You're somewhere in the $3.39 to about $3.59. So depending on where you go, and of course the grade you get, you're going to be in that, you know, $3.39 to $3.59 right now at this time. Looking up on the websites too and doing some, you know, investigation, you know, and also talking to some people I know, average commute seemed to be about 26 minutes for most people. Okay. So the other thing is going to be insurance. You know, insurance is something, how much is it here? I do have a couple different cars, so maybe this will give you a general idea. I've got a newer Subaru. I believe it's a 2017. I'm paying about $1,700 full coverage for that a year. I do have a Tahoe, which I do not have full coverage on, and I'm paying about $1,400 a year on that. A Toyota Scion ballpark is about $1,300 a month. I'm sorry, not a month, a year. So, you know, you can see different vehicles, different prices, but based on, you know, one of the online insurance places, insure.com, the average for the Phoenix area is going to be somewhere in the 2,000 range. So like I said, I've got, you know, 3 vehicles and I'm actually averaging under all of those. So what I would tell you is do your homework. You probably can find a better deal than what this average is. Healthcare costs are the next topic that I wanted to get into. And, you know, frankly, I would assume, I would hope that would be kind of like a same thing, no matter where in the country that you are. But in the end, right here in the Phoenix area, the average seems to be somewhere in the $6,828. And this is based on information from the Bureau of Economic Analysis. Now, of course, this can depend varying on what kind of insurance you choose. Does your employer, you know, pay a certain percentage, etc. I can tell you I was an independent contractor and I had for a period of time been shelling out $800 a month to have family insurance, and that was with paying the deductible is what they call it, right? So it can be kind of expensive, but hopefully, you know, it'll be subsidized a little bit by your employer, so you might not feel it as much. But that's the yearly, about $6,828, okay? Lastly, Arizona does have sales tax, okay? So everything you buy, etc., does have a sales tax to it. Sales tax is 5.6%, which lands us about the middle of the range. We're at 28 for the entire United States. So that's basically it when you look at it. Cost of living in and around the Phoenix area. You know, I'm sure you could probably mess around with different areas and try to keep those costs down. But I hope this video was informative. I hope the information was something that you enjoyed. Go ahead, leave me a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. I do get a lot of people that reach out to me because they're going to be moving to Phoenix. And I got to tell you, I love it. I love helping people, you know, decide whether it's going to be a good move for them or helping them find that home that's going to fit their needs. So let me know if I can be of any assistance, and I appreciate you watching the video. Please, again, don't forget, like, share, comment. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.